What if you could plant something out in your yard, completely ignore it for 8 months, and then bring in a harvest that is 5 times more than what you planted? I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's actually not. It's just garlic. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can plant your own crop of garlic that will fill your pantry and boost your food storage. So with all of the uncertainty of this year and the empty grocery store shelves and this never knowing if what I'm gonna need is gonna be in stock or not, we have not only been ramping up our food storage this year, but also our food production. Now, like you, we have a lot going on. So when I am looking at things that will fill up my pantry and give us that extra measure of food security, it has to be things that I can easily grow and things that are not fussy or complicated to store. And one of my absolute favorite foods that falls into this category is garlic. Garlic is something you can literally plant in the fall, ignore for its full growing season, which is about 8 months, and then you get to reap the harvest in the early summer. And the cool thing is that it gives you a 5 times return on investment. So if you plant 10 pounds of seed garlic, you can plan on getting 40 to 60 pounds in return. That's pretty cool. So right now it is the end of our growing season here in the northern climates, which is the perfect time to plant your garlic. And I'm gonna take you along for the ride today as I get my crop into the ground. So I got my seed garlic yesterday. This is very late to be planting garlic. Well, maybe not very late, but it's later than I would like. I actually ordered this a month ago. I got this from Fillory Garlic Farm. Oh, can it focus? Focus. Fillory Garlic Farm in Washington State. It was a month to get here. It's usually not that slow, but this year is just weird. So it's a little bit warm today. So we're gonna go plant this before we get another snowstorm. And we've already had 2 pretty big snowstorms here, which is kind of normal for Wyoming. And it says, plant garlic 2 to 4 weeks before the ground freezes solid. We are definitely not frozen solid yet, so we should be okay. So there are 2 kind of main categories of garlic. There is soft neck and hard neck, but I like hard neck the best, and I believe that's what I got. Hard neck garlic has a little bit bigger cloves and it has like a stiff neck, so you're not going to be able to braid it like if you want those cool homesteader-ish garlic braids. Hard neck garlic will not work for that. Gotta finish getting dressed. So it's perfect time to come out here in one of the empty beds. Everything's been harvested and I'm gonna use that to put my garlic in. Now, keep in mind, if you, just drop the garlic. Now keep in mind, if you don't have an actual garden plot, you can still grow garlic. I would stick it in your landscaping, in an empty flower bed. You could dig up a little square in your backyard. Like, it's pretty easy, it's not finicky, and you do not need to have an established garden like I do. Trying to decide which bed I want to put this in. I have some things planted here. This has some mosh, which is also known as corn salad. It's a cold weather crop, and it is barely coming up. This is actually rye, winter rye that I planted. This is another cover crop. More winter rye there, more winter rye there. I will link a blog post in the show notes if you want to learn more about why I did that. So these beds have things planted in them this summer. Obviously they're empty now, but I just need to kind of loosen up the soil. I need to plant the garlic 4 to 6 inches deep. So I'm just loosening up the soil a little bit. Okay, so that was a good little workout. I got the soil prepped, kind of just dug up, nothing fancy, just loosened, got the big clods out of there. And now I'm gonna just put some little rows in about 4 inches deep. So I'm trying to find a hoe. I usually have tools strewn all over my garden, and I think I put them all away for the year. So I'm just gonna grab an old wooden stake and use that to dig out my rows. What you want to do, you take your seed garlic, you want to break it up. So this is the bulb, right? Call this the bulb. We want to break it up into the cloves. which you just kind of got to tear the paper off and see if you can pop some of them off, because each clove will turn into a whole new garlic plant and a subsequent garlic bulb, which is pretty awesome. So there is 1, 2, 3. The paper is going everywhere, so it's good to do this outside where you don't care about the mess. Okay, so from that 1 bulb, I got 6 cloves. And I will plant each of these. We're gonna plant them pointy side up. That's really important because that's how the plant wants to grow. So pointy side up and about 4 to 6 inches apart. I generally smush them together, maybe a little tighter than I should, but it's always worked out. Check out the clove size on this Romanian red variety. Like, they're monsters. Like, that is my type of garlic clove, man. Love it. So my beds are about 4 by 10, I believe, 4 foot by 10 foot. And I ordered 3 pounds of seed garlic total. And I would say I have enough left to fill another third of a bed. So I'm gonna cover this bed up, and then I'll dig up another bed probably after lunch and fill in the remaining space with some of my leftover garlic that I harvested this year, because once you invest in seed garlic, you can save it back and replant it year after year. So technically you never have to rebuy it. I'm gonna push these guys down a little bit further into the soil and then cover them up. So they're gonna be sitting out here all winter long in all our brutal temps, so I need them to have plenty of protection. All right, let's grab the wheelbarrow and a little bit of mulch. So one of my favorite mulches to use in my garden is just grass clippings. We don't spray our grass with any sort of herbicides or pesticides, so they're pretty much organic, and I just save them in a pile when we're mowing the lawn throughout the summer and use that all over in my garden. So that's pretty much it. That took me, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, even with finagling with the camera. So 2 quick things. Make sure that you mark or remember where you planted the garlic, because come next spring, you will not remember. So I'm gonna put like a stake here. I also have these little numbers on my beds. So I will go write that down in my garden journal to remind myself, bed number 6 has garlic. I'm also gonna water it for a couple days, and that is it. You leave it alone, ignore it. The garlic will be out here and it will come through the soil March or April, and you get to harvest it in June or July, depending on where you live. So I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna make some taco meat for a get together we're having tonight, and guess what I'm gonna put in it? Garlic. Hold on, are you eating it raw? Is it spicy?
Not that spicy.
Not that spicy? You think it's good?
Mm-hmm.
For the scoop on how to harvest, cure, and store your garlic harvest, watch this video.